What's up, everybody? I'm back here, Ollie, here with Jordan Minor, Jordan McKoy on the men's basketball team. We're going to kick it off this week with a recap on the big win over spring break, NEC champions. How's it feel, guys?
Feels great, to be honest. It's just like a dream come true, low key.
You guys feel like pretty good about it when you came, like first year? Were you like, I don't really know if that's like in our reach in the 4 years?
I mean, personally, first year I didn't know what to expect. I was told certain things. I got here, I just kind of found my way into the groove, and I was kind of carried to a championship. I didn't play much, but it was awesome learning from those guys, and I didn't really look 3 years, 4 years in advance to see where we'd be now. I didn't know again what to expect, how I would develop in this system, and what I would become. But it's awesome.
Yeah, I would say the same thing too. Definitely didn't know what to expect, especially coming in as a freshman. So winning that freshman year was kind of big and just eye-opening, but never thought that you would win both regular season and postseason champs. So it is something special for sure.
Yeah, you guys definitely you had a good run right at the beginning. You had that first big regular season, make that statement. And the years leading up to this championship, I feel like they've been pretty good runs, been pretty competitive all 4 years. What do you think has to play in that? Do you think just the guys, the culture, the coaches, what do you think is kind of pushing this team along this past couple of years?
I think it would be the culture. I think when we were freshmen, our 3 seniors kind of showed us what it took to win and, what it meant to play hard each possession. And I mean, me, McKoy, and Ziggy, we kind of just carry that on with the new guys here. So I would say the culture and what those guys instilled in us kind of carried from that championship to this year's.
I think coaches also did a really good job of kind of adapting to the team that we have now, because our freshman year team is a lot different from what we have now, so as far as certain skill sets and size and things like that. So they did a really good job adapting to us and our gameplay.
Yeah, I definitely say that game was pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm sure you guys would say. I mean, 2 totally different play styles. I feel like for you guys more specifically as players.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan, you had a great game that day. McKoy, essentially the most important basket of the game, most important basket of the season. What do you guys have to say for that performance of that night?
I think the whole game. I think the whole game was just crazy. I mean, I felt like a little bit of jitters. I remember there was a point where we was down, and Coach Gallo, he was like, it was crazy. He was like, we went on 8-0 runs before, and we ended the game on an 8-0 run to win the game. So I mean, it was just crazy. Definitely a special night for sure.
Yeah, to me, it kind of didn't feel real. Even though I was shooting free throws, it just didn't even feel like it was really happening. But I was trying to go in the mindset it's just another game, but obviously it's a championship game. You worked all season.
It always looms over your head a little bit.
So I don't know. Just in the moment, it just I don't know. Kind of felt like an out of body experience.
Yeah. Had you guys played in championships while you were younger, in high school?
Yeah,
and stuff like that? I don't know. I know some people, they're I never played a championship in my life, and then I got to college, and it's totally a different ball game.
Yeah, a lot of club team championships, high school tournament championships, things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, same. I think that one was a little different though, because it's kind of like the penultimate. You win that, and then you obviously get to go and play in March Madness and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for us, but that was the goal. So I think just that game was heightened to a different extent for sure.
Yeah, definitely cool. What did you black out that moment a little bit, or were you just
kinda.
You were I just gotta get through this moment?
I was trying to think of we shoot free throws every day in practice, 4 or 5 minutes straight, and we gotta concentrate on making 2 in a row and see how many you can get. So I was just kind of thinking back to that, just thinking about practice, being at that hoop with Mick and the other 2 teammates, and just make 1. That's all I had to do.
What happened though? I don't even I was sitting there, and I'm obviously at the other end of the court, where you guys were shooting, and then all of a sudden I'm oh my God, there's a foul.
Yeah.
And then you're coming down, and I'm wait, what is going on?
Yeah, low-key nobody knew what happened. A shot went up on the weak side, and I boxed out. I don't know who it was. Boxed out somebody. And he jumped over my back, and the ref happened to call an over back foul the first time all game. So
it was tied, right? Tie game.
Yep.
Yeah, it was tied, and it was their ball, and I just remember being what is going on? And then I just see you walking up to the line. I'm oh my gosh.
And we're in a 1-on-1 when it happened, so.
Yeah.
Oh, we were?
We're in a bonus, actually. I'm bugging. We're in a bonus, so we got 2 shots.
Yeah, we had bonus.
Okay.
Yeah,
So.
that was definitely crazy. I mean, just that overall, season, were you guys, a little nervous at the beginning of the season? I feel like it wasn't ideal how you wanted to start.
I was a little nervous at first. Started off on the wrong foot, definitely. But it was kind of growing pains, trying to really figure out who can do what, who's comfortable doing what.
A lot of new faces this year,
Definitely
I feel like.
a lot of new faces, a lot of young guys also. So
Yeah.
A lot of guys that haven't played a college game before, so you bring them into the fold, get them experience. So I think it also helped playing a good out of conference schedule, even though it might not boost our confidence up so much,
Right.
but it definitely prepares us for moments like the postseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I think it was a little bit, I don't want to say worse, but a little bit more weight on us, especially coming into the season. We were ranked like the first for our conference, so losing all those games, it was kind of tough, but we kind of just stayed focused, kept believing in ourselves. No one like had their heads down in practice or in the locker room, which was good. So we kind of like knew we were going through a hard time, but we kind of like stay with it. So
I mean, it says a lot too. Like, I feel like that almost boosts your confidence more. Like, seeing how you guys got better through the season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always like something that teams say. Like, we saw ourselves getting better, so we kept pushing and going, and then you see the wins, obviously, and then next thing you know, you're in the biggest game of the season almost.
Right. I mean, I think like getting better towards the end of the season. I think for us, that was just like being comfortable with everyone. I mean, it was like a whole new team. So, just getting comfortable with playing with like Savage and Javon. It really helped like everyone just like be more at ease and like be less tense and just be free to play. So
Yeah. So outside of basketball now, what's like the big focus? Just trying to finish up senior year, see what's going on, all that kind of thing?
Yeah, finish up senior year, enjoy the social life as much as possible, and just, focus on school.
Because essentially this is kind of like the first time you guys get to relax now that the season's like over. Because it's like before you're like, oh, I got to go back in like what? When do you guys go back after the season ends usually? Like
in the summer?
Yeah.
July.
Yeah. So you're coming back around. You wouldn't have any more practices though while we're at school, would you?
Nah, just like all-season training,
Yeah.
group workouts, lifting. Nothing
Yeah.
like too crazy.
I mean, obviously you guys have fifth years, possibilities that you might come back still maybe thinking about things, unsure.
Yeah, definitely
Both,
still
yeah?
thinking, unsure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, for me, I'm definitely thinking about things. I think the 4 years I've been here, I've never imagined it would end like this or it would, be like this, come out like this. I think this place has been like special to me for like the past 4 years. So definitely got to take some time and think about like things and where I want to go from here. So
Yep. And you're from the Mass area, right? You're from
Yeah,
Kingston.
Kingston,
And then
Mass.
where are you from again?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yep. So you've been away from home for a little bit.
Yeah.
So it might be different, but do you like being away from home? Like, how's that?
It's cool. When I was looking for a college, I didn't want to be too close to home, but I also didn't want to be like, I have to take a plane ride home.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money and things like that. So it's not too bad. I mean, the weather's a little different, but I like having space for my family a little bit, but also only being on a car ride away.
Yeah. The car ride and the plane like makes a big difference.
Exactly.
I feel like I couldn't go to school like a plane ride away.
Yeah, it's just like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Money, you gotta get to the airport, extra stuff.
So you guys both major in comm too?
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys thinking like you would want to do with that kind of thing, maybe post grad?
I'm looking to do like kind of something sort of similar what you and Chris do, like
Yeah.
sports editing,
Broadcasting,
content creation,
yeah.
type thing.
That kind
But
of
like
stuff.
hopefully for
Yeah.
professional or college.
Yeah.
yeah, same thing, just to kind of like still be around like the sport or just sports in general.
Be in the industry somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like communications would get a good like kind of like insert to that because like
Yeah.
you could kind of work in marketing of it, you could work
Yeah.
in PR of it, you could work on
Right.
communications. There's a lot of different options, but it's definitely something super cool to do and stuff like
for
that.
sure.
What would you guys say like your biggest like memory is here at Merrimack? I mean, we'll skip the championship because
That's a
obviously
great
that has to be number
I was
one.
about to say, yeah. That's
But like, if we're gonna take that away, what's like?
That is a great question.
I mean, guys, you played on national
Best
television
memory.
twice.
Yeah, we did.
While you're here, that's pretty cool.
Definitely did.
I'm trying to think.
I can't really think of one, but like the fact that I was able to do all my 4 years with Minor, Zig, and Kel, and just basically be with them every day and just form that brotherhood, that bond. We did almost everything together, so just building that relationship.
I feel like basketball is one of those sports too. It's like it's pretty like intimate with the team because it's like there's not as many. You aren't like on a 40-person roster. You're on
Exactly.
what, 12, 13?
12 to 15.
Yeah. So like you guys are all pretty tight, pretty close. Even depending on the ages, it's still pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that like builds like special friendships even like
Definitely.
after people graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys still talk to some of the alums. I mean, I know I see
Yeah.
some of them come
Yeah,
to
they came
games
up
and
like
stuff.
a week ago.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked to them a little bit. I mean, I would say the same thing. Just, I mean, we've like each year we've lived with each other. So I mean, just growing that bond, and I would definitely say is like one of like the things I'm gonna remember the most. And then, just going to like outings and stuff at Merrimack, like games, women's games, hockey games. I think like just showing support and like being out there is probably like a moment that I'm gonna remember for sure.
You guys gonna head out to the game on Friday, tomorrow?
At the
At the
Garden,
TV
right?
Garden,
I might think
yeah.
about it.
I think it could be big. What's
Yeah,
your guys'
definitely.
favorite sport to go watch?
Women's
Favorite?
basketball has to be up there. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I definitely like supporting them.
I would say when they packed the women's basketball games,
Yeah, that was crazy.
That Brooklyn game was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun. That's a crazy game too.
Because they had like the football guys in the stands chirping. So
I want to see it more like that, bro.
Yeah.
Because they don't get a lot of love. I feel like people like
they're good.
Exactly. That's what
I
I'm
was
saying.
like, what the heck? They're
why
good.
can't they pack their gym?
Yeah.
But I would say football probably.
Football. Yeah.
Volleyball's pretty tough too.
Men's and women's
volleyball.
Men's,
Yeah.
They're pretty tough out there. I'm not gonna lie. And they're tall.
Yeah. Hops. They jump higher than me. Some of them.
They're huge. I don't get it. The net's like really high.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the difference in the net between like the men's and it's really high.
Yep.
And some of those guys are like, I have pictures of them and like half their torso is like over the thing. I'm like, how do you do that? That's crazy though. I mean, what are you guys like looking forward to the most like in these next couple months then?
I mean, everything that comes with graduation. Like I know it's a lot of anticipation and
the activities and stuff like that kind of thing.
Yeah, activities, stuff like that, and just having free time to just go out. The weather gets warmer. Hang out with people. We also had like our COVID, our freshman year robbed. Freshman year.
Yeah, spring.
We won that thing or whatever also, so we didn't get to really enjoy the back end celebrations and things like that. So hopefully when the weather gets warm, a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I would say just enjoying the spring. I mean, this is gonna be our last spring as like college seniors. So, I mean, just enjoying that and enjoying each other's company, and then still like being able to like work out and stuff like that is gonna be probably like important to me. So.
Some nice outside workouts.
Yeah.
Those are always prime. I feel like.
Yeah, those are always the worst too.
Facts.
Hills, fields.
It like depends. If it's that like in between weather where it's not really hot but it's not really cold,
that's
it's like okay, this is like not as bad as it could be. But once you hit like June and July and it's like 100 degrees, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
In the morning before the sun get out, too crazy.
I mean, daylight savings though now, so it's been nice.
True. Yeah.
It's like doesn't get dark now until like 7 o'clock. It's like really nice. I get out of my night class and I'm like, oh, it's still light out. But I appreciate you guys being here.
Of course.
Fifth episode of Senior Sendoff with the guys, the champs. We had a great run. We're excited to see. Maybe we'll have them back next year. Who knows?
Yes, sir.
Jordan, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. That's easy. You guys can just come, Mike.